Hello everyone, ExigentErudition here. This is my first video, or my introduction video for YouTube. I'm going to start making some videos on here, all sorts of different topics, interesting stories from my life, you know, typical stuff you have. So I wanted to go over a basic introduction here. First, the name, ExigentErudition, that's ExigentErudition. So I believe that's the way it's spelled on the page. Basically, exigent means urgent or must happen soon, and erudition is educating or bringing someone's intelligence up. So basically, exigent erudition being an urgent need for higher education. So in other words, I'm here to hopefully change some minds and raise the IQ of some of the dumb people on the net, which I'm sure many of you know there are a lot of them. I'm an atheist. So in that respect, I do not believe that anything about Christianity, Islam, any other ones. I don't believe that they're right at all. I don't believe God exists. For the longest time, I was agnostic and didn't really know it. And after watching some prominent atheists here on YouTube, most notably The Amazing Atheist, I came to the realization that yes, I am an atheist, and I've believed that for a while. I just didn't know it. I'm also an avid video gamer. So, game all the time. Seriously, that's the main thing in my life right now. Some would call it an addiction, but when it's kind of the only thing you really get true enjoyment out of, you know, what are you supposed to say? You know, oh, I'm addicted, I'm gonna stop? Besides, it offers something different every time. If you ever feel bored with one genre, you can just move to another, which is really great. My gamer tag, I usually go by Wezak. W-E-Z-A-Q, the Q also being capitalized, and that's how it's pronounced, Wezak. Basically, I came up with it because I wanted something different that nobody else would ever have. You know, nobody ever would think up that name, so I thought it up, using three of the least used letters I could think of, W, Z, and Q. You'll also find me sometimes with EW before it. EW being the Enlightened Warriors, an old gaming clan I was in. I still consider myself a member of it, even though we kind of fell apart. We don't keep in contact much anymore. We were Neverwinter Nights 1 clan, and Neverwinter Nights 2 kind of, well, it didn't have much of a community behind it, so we were kind of left on our own, and we fell apart, like a lot of clans do. So, but I still believe myself to be a member, and so I still use the tag a lot. I was traditionally a console gamer as a kid. Started playing in 6th grade, or not 6th grade, at 6 in 1st grade. And switched to PC gaming around 1999, which I was born in 84, so if any of you want to work out my age, fine. It was also in 1st grade when I got my glasses here. I am really, really, really blind. Without them, I can't see the word Windows on my startup screen, even with how close I'm sitting. So yeah, I'm freaking blind. Farsighted, if you were curious. So yeah, I switched to PCs after a friend gave me a compact that he wanted to contest at his job, and been PC gamer ever since. You know, good old-fashioned games of the day, StarCraft, Diablo, all that stuff, and Soldier of Fortune, best old-school series. And sorry about that. Now, you know, mainly play computer games, some console, but it's mostly PC. I only play PC, I only use PC, I hate Macs. Not so much because I hate the systems, although OS X is a piece of garbage. It's worse than, you know, Windows Vista and all of its problems. But, I hate Apple as a company. They are dishonest. They lie to the customers, and I can't respect that. So I try not to use their products. That being said, I use an iPhone. It's hacked to use T-Mobile instead of AT&T, but it's still an iPhone, and you know, luckily I didn't buy it directly from them. I bought it from someone else who already had it hacked. You know, and I can't stand the Apple and their commercials and stuff and the way they blatantly lie to people. And that brings me to my next point. I don't like the blatant dishonesty and hypocrisy. You know, that's the main problem I have with them and a lot of other groups. For instance, politicians. When it comes to Republicans and Democrats and which one I am, I'd have to follow the Democrat only because Republicans are so blatantly evil. They're don't get me wrong, their standings on a lot of issues are right. What they say they stand for. But they don't actually stand for them. They don't actually do them. And as a result, I can't support them. What they do is more damage to the country. The Democrats, on the other hand, while they may not really help the country along, at least they do less damage. My dad had a good way of looking at Republicans and Democrats. He said, they'll both rape you, but the Democrats will buy you breakfast in the morning. Let's see, as for the political issues, abortion, I don't like abortion. I think it's wrong and it's evil and it sucks. I wish it wasn't around. That being said, though, it does need to be around. People will get abortions, whether it's legal or illegal. And I'd rather have it be legal and done in a regulated manner than have it be done in back alleys with coat hangers. It's a little graphic, but still, you know what I mean. I'd rather have it be done where it can be seen and where it can be made sure it's done properly and where rules can be followed. I think the rules should be more federally regulated and set in stone, no partial birth abortions, no third trimester abortions, all that kind of stuff. But in general, it does still need to be allowed. And that also brings me to gay rights. Another one that the two sides are torn on. Once again, I fall on the side of the Democrats. Gays need their rights. And it has nothing really to do with being a Democrat. They're people. Gays are people. And if you are a person, you deserve to have rights, including being able to marry the one that you love. Now, I myself am not gay. I'm heterosexual. But, you can't take away someone's rights. What if it was in reverse? What would all the straight people say if the gays were the ones in charge and they said that, straight people couldn't, you couldn't marry the opposite sex, you could only marry the same sex? What would you say? How angry would you be? How much would you want to change the world? So you have to put yourself in their shoes. And besides that, they can't help it. It's a matter of biology and nature. They're born gay. It's not a choice here. I'm sure there might be a few here and there who might have chosen to be gay simply because they didn't really feel one way or the other and they picked one. But, or maybe they were doing it as a rebellion type of thing and then got used to it. But most, I'd say a large percentage, it has to be like 90% or more. It's, you're born with it. You're just born that way. And an interesting thing, I saw a bunch of things on YouTube, articles and videos and stuff, that not only is it biologically a thing that's decided in the womb, but it's also predetermined based on how many times your mother has given birth to the same gender. Because then the hormones start to get out of whack and they start to pile up on one side to try and make the opposite gender. And therefore it leads to things like transgender and, gay and all sorts of other, in the middle area kind of stuff. All sorts of gray areas. Another weird one I saw online was you can look at your hand. If you compare your ring finger and your index finger, if your ring finger is longer, chances are you are attracted to girls. If your index finger is longer, then chances are you are attracted to guys. So it's an interesting test to do. You can try it on yourself, see what happens. So yeah, you just gotta let them have their rights. They can't help it. And I don't think it's wrong. It's something that needs to be... You can't push it on the carpet, you can't hide it, you have to just let it go. It's part of society. People have always been gay, animals have always been gay. This stuff exists. This is my second time at the video. My first one, I almost forgot the point I had made, that there's a good chance that that nature actually chooses people to be gay as a way of limiting the growth of a population while at the same time providing adults who can take care of the orphan children. This is seen in nature in quite a variety of species, including like penguins, for example. You'll have gay male penguins or female penguins, and they don't lay any eggs or anything because they're gay, but there will be eggs where both of the parents died, and they'll raise the egg and then raise the chick that comes from it. And it's quite possible that nature actually provides that. It actually pushes that along so that happens more often when a population gets large enough and there are enough orphans. That being said... sorry, itch there. That being said, I don't think that, I'm not trying to insult the gays. I'm not trying to say that, this is all just some way for nature to use you to take care of orphans. But it's just it's possible that nature provides hidden pushes and nudges in one direction over another. I believe this is true.